Hello, my name is Zachary Bennett, and I want to welcome you to the Omnism Spiritual Center. Before we jump in, I want you to cognitively check in on yourself and ask yourself, where are you at this exact given time and space? Today I want to talk about the stillness within. The stillness within is a recognition, checking in on your global frequency patterns, your broadcasted message to the universe. It truly is as simple as that. When we ask ourselves, what is the message that I'm broadcasting to the universe? We need to know if this broadcast stems from a place of stillness, a place of knowing, a place of inner serenity, deep resonating peace. Do we know and trust in the universe? Do we have an understanding that all our needs will be met? And that our perception is how we live in our realities? I stop and I ask myself, I say, are these the realities behind my eyes? Do I see these trees? Is all of this peace, this global frequency? When we ask ourselves, are we taken care of? When we check in with our inner dialogue, a message of peace and tranquility can be broadcasted around the world. It truly is as simple as that. When we recognize the divine within, we can see the divine without. When we harbor this inner turmoil of resentment and hate, it becomes our perspective, that becomes our reality, and that is all we see. Knowing the inner peace, knowing the stillment is what sets you free. Omnism casts a wide net, broad enough to incorporate all religions. When you say this works for you, I listen. I have empathy, and I want to understand. Because if it works for you, I would like it to work for me too. And we don't dictate in Omnism whose religion is more powerful or whose is more right. That's defeating the entire purpose. Knowing that you are God, and God is within you, and the universe all around you. Our lives are dictated by Spirit. Our commands given to us by Allah. The knowing, the enlightenment, sitting with the inner truth within. These are all ways of living. Combined together, they give you an existence that is just the here and now. The knowing, the collective, the consciousness. If my resonance of peace can affect you around the world, imagine what would happen if we all came to peace. If that global message was prosperous. If every one of us took that enlightenment to the heart and said, I love you as I love myself. I find the inner stillness in my day-to-day knowing that Spirit, that the universe will provide, that all my necessities will be taken care of. As long as I have breath in my lungs and love in my heart, I will prosper, I will survive. This message of knowing is the trueness of peace, the inner stillness of knowing that tomorrow will come, and yet today is the gift. Today is the journey, the here and now. No one man can see the entire world. You couldn't see every acre. Every plot of land cannot be covered by one human walking. The breathtakingly beautiful planet we live on is shared. The divine inherentness is for all of us to live through each other's eyes, to see through each other's hearts. That knowing that I'll lift you up when you lift me up, that is what makes the world go round. That is our divine nature, human nature, is loving one another, and taking care of each other. Do not let the media or the politics of the world tell you otherwise. We're living in a world more controlled by science, more towards the collective consciousness now more than ever. We've never been so connected as a species. The collective consciousness is our God, is our Allah, is our spirit, is our universe, should be our love, should dictate the thoughts we have in our head. Yes, we may have difficult times, but those don't last. We have the spirit of resilience within us, the power to rise and overcome any obstacle, no matter how tall. When we look at one another, we need that peace and love and forgiveness to see each other as we are ourselves. Because individually, we're not whole. Together, we can make a difference. A collective mindset into peace, love, harmony, and prosperity is what the world needs now more than ever. It is possible. Starts with you, starts with me, starts with every human being we see. Remember to shine a little love, to give a little faith. Appreciate this place, this great beauty of earth, this majesty of spirit, of Allah, of God. The collective consciousness shines through all of us, through all of God's creatures. Knowing there's a divine spark in everything created and everything, every breath we take can be that appreciation, that prayer, that meditation. Knowing this, knowing the difference in between you and me. And I'm just experiencing life in a different perspective. And that I've lived your life before and as if you have lived mine. The world's not so different. Politicians might try to convince us otherwise. The media might only display the negative, but you've woken up before. You'll wake up again. We know there's a light at the end of the day. That's the beauty of the world. And if we all share that beauty with one another, we can make the world a better place. And it starts with the inner stillness, the coming to the realization that you have all of your perspective ever in front of you. There will never be another you. There will never be another light as bright. So if you continue to shine, remember you're not shining alone. That divine spark in you is in all of God's creatures. Every breath we take is the universe saying, love, love, love. And we can only get there through the inner stillness, the inner realization that everything is laid before you, that you have breath in your lungs, and fire in your heart. And that is the message. That is the prosperity of peace we need to share with everyone, no matter how cruel, no matter how bitter. We understand that we have lived that same lives ourselves. And then that through the evolution of the collective human consciousness, the soul, the divinity, we will come to understand peace and the prosperity as a world. Not simply a nation, not simply a state, a divine human race walking the face of the earth towards prosperity and enlightenment and a better knowing within. And it starts now. It starts today. It starts with a single thought captive inside your head. Choose to control your thoughts. Live every moment as if it was your last. Appreciate every obstacle that comes your way. For the pain too is a gift from the Creator. And when you understand that God has already dictated the perfect existence for you, for me, for one another, then too shall we see that world peace is achievable. However, it is not only achievable, it is our responsibility. For if I do not take every thought captive and I let a negative thought slip, does that frequency and energy broadcast around the universe affecting my fellow man? I believe so, yes. Omnism would also believe so. In a collective mind frame, we're all equally responsible for the state of the world. No one man holds the weight of all the burden of evil, for it is everybody's obligation to live the best we can and to be there for one another, to try to prosper in this great universe, this great unknown, this great living, the breath, the water of life, passed down from generation to generation. It is our responsibility to make sure the human race evolves into a prosperous race. We're now more than ever coming up with scientific advancements that could end world poverty in the blink of an eye, that could come up to global energy solutions. We need to remind the media and the politicians what it is we the people want. We want that collective consciousness, and we want that world peace. We need to write it down and let them know. Remind them we are here, who we are. We are a species of peace, love, and prosperity. Together we shall overcome every obstacle. No war, no famine, no disease. A global paradise. And then we take that to the stars. We begin to spread that message across the universe, reminding all of God's creatures and enlightened ones what it is to feel this, to live in that resonant, that pure bliss that starts from the inner stillness within. And I want to give you a mission today. Just one. Hold your deepest resentment in your hand and whisper peace and love to it. If that deepest resentment is something that embarrasses you, perhaps someone you would consider an enemy, an achievement you thought you deserved that changed the course of your life, perhaps a global situation you don't have control over, hold it. Visualize it within your heart. Wish it peace and love. And let it go. This is our mission. And when we live by our mission, we're living in God's purpose for us. In doing so, we create a global frequency. In that collective consciousness, if every one human broadcasts a message of peace and love, we've achieved the world peace. We've done it. We're ready for the stars. We're ready for the universe. Do not let these politicians and the media steer our scientific advancements in a way for evil and self-gain. Let the world know we can end this global poverty. We can advance medical advancements to the point of zero diseases, total immunity, longevity, to end global war alone. What a magnificent concept. And if you can't visualize it, that's where you need to work on your inner peace and stillness. And this is what meditation, prayer, all of that is designed for this. If you aren't on the frequency yet, the Omnism Spiritual Center is here to help you. We want you enlightened. We want you part of the collective consciousness for good, radiating this beautiful message of peace and love around the world. This is why the Omnism Spiritual Center was founded. We have one mission. Omnism has one mission: to unite all religions, beliefs, and traditions, and to have one prosperous human race around the globe. It's truly that simple. And if we're living in a modern day and age where this message can broadcast around the world, and we're capable of achieving this together, we can unite. We can accomplish anything we set our minds to. We know the answer is within. And we're building a global community to share in that, to remind one another how blessed and truly beautiful everything truly is. The divinity and the spark of creation and life is all around us. When we forget to appreciate that, we lose sight of that. We lose our minds. We divulge into ego, into want, into desire. These are human needs on a global scale. The end of famine, the end of war, the end of disease, the end of hate. The answer is within. Take that one thing and wish it peace and love. Do that every day. Continue to do that for the rest of your life. Teach another human being how to do that. Remind them how good it feels to let that go. To let love replace hate. Peace and prosperity to fill your body, no matter what you're facing, no matter the obstacle. We've come too far as a human race to go backwards. I believe in the evolution. History does not have to repeat itself. We're living in a scientific age. Our advancements are advancing more and more every day. It is our obligation and responsibility to remind the media, to remind the politicians, write letters, sing songs, manifest this global world peace message, because it's completely in reach. And I want to thank you today for joining me. And I want to remind you to be that beacon of light around the world, to shine your light, your prosperity. And if you know somebody that needs to hear this message, Omnism doesn't just belong to me. It belongs to the global frequency. Thank you.